At 9:14 p.m., the account logged out. There was nothing unusual about it, no alerts, no failed attempts, no sign of interference. It was a routine logout tied to a familiar device on a private Wi-Fi network, the kind of digital action that disappears into normalcy. By 11:02 p.m., the same account logged back in from the exact same IP address, using the same device signature, in the same location. Nothing had changed, except one critical detail. By 11:02 p.m., the owner of that account had already been reported missing. There were no calls, no movement, no confirmed sightings, just silence and a login. The system showed continuity. The reality suggested absence, which led investigators to one question. If he was gone, who logged back in? The account belonged to 29-year-old Daniel Ease, a freelance graphic designer known for his routine-driven lifestyle. His digital habits were precise and predictable. He worked from home, logged in from the same devices, and rarely deviated from his schedule. On the night he disappeared, Daniel completed a client upload at 8:52 p.m. At 9:14 p.m., his account logged out. After that, he went completely silent. By the next day, missed deadlines and unanswered calls triggered concern, and by evening, he was officially reported missing. When investigators reviewed his account activity, the anomaly stood out immediately. The 11:02 p.m. login. Same location, same device, no technical irregularities. At first, it suggested he had returned. But the deeper they looked, the less that explanation held. Because while the location remained constant, the behavior did not. Forensic analysis confirmed both sessions came from Daniel's apartment network and personal laptop. There were no VPNs or remote access indicators. But the timeline raised questions. Around 9:30 p.m., neighbors reported hearing a loud thud, followed by movement in the hallway. There were no cameras to confirm it, only fragments of memory. Investigators mapped the sequence. 8:52 p.m. upload, 9:14 p.m. logout, 9:30 p.m. disturbance, 11:02 p.m. login. The gap between logout and login wasn't empty. It was unexplained. The behavior during the 11:02 p.m. session was minimal but telling. No emails were sent, no files created. Instead, the account accessed a single folder labeled Clients Archive, containing past projects and financial records. The session lasted 6 minutes before logging out again. This stood out because Daniel never reviewed archive work at night. His routines were consistent, and this activity didn't match. Further analysis of cursor movements and navigation patterns showed subtle differences. Slower actions, unfamiliar pathways, slight hesitations. It looked like someone using his system, but not someone who knew it as well as he did. That possibility shifted the investigation toward physical access. There were no signs of forced entry, suggesting whoever entered either had permission or was already inside. Attention turned to Daniel's close contacts, and one name surfaced repeatedly. Chinedu Okafor, a collaborator who had recently worked with him. Chinedu had visited the apartment multiple times and had temporary access to Daniel's system during a past project. Phone data placed him near the apartment that night, and when investigators examined his device, they found that it connected to Daniel's Wi-Fi at 10:47 p.m., just minutes before the login. It was not an automatic connection. It was manually selected, indicating he had been inside the apartment after Daniel's disappearance. The timeline began to align. Daniel logs out at 9:14 p.m. A disturbance is heard at 9:30 p.m. Chinedu connects to the Wi-Fi at 10:47 p.m. The account logs back in at 11:02 p.m. The remaining question was why. The answer lay in the folder accessed during that session. Inside were financial records tied to a high-value project completed months earlier. The payment had been made in full, but records showed Daniel received the entire amount. Chinedu's share had not been transferred. Messages between them revealed tension, delayed responses, and unresolved conflict. Investigators reconstructed the likely sequence. Chinedu arrived that night to confront Daniel. An argument escalated into a physical struggle. The disturbance neighbors heard. After that, Daniel was no longer present. Hours later, Chinedu returned, connected to Wi-Fi, and logged into the account. He navigated directly to the archive folder, not to communicate, but to confirm the financial records. Then he logged out. The login was not about impersonation. It was about verification. And the detail that exposed him was the one he could not alter, the location, by using the same network and device. He placed himself exactly where the system could record him. Chinedu Okafor was arrested 2 weeks later. Digital evidence, login logs, Wi-Fi connections, and behavioral inconsistencies formed a clear narrative. Daniel's remains were later recovered, and the timeline matched the forensic data. The account that logged out and then back and became the key to the case, not because it proved presence, but because it revealed absence. Daniel wasn't there, but someone else was. In the end, the account didn't lie. It showed exactly where the truth was hiding.